Welcome back to the B Team episode
59.
Yeah, I want to say it in Spanish. Hold on.
8.
60?
60. We made it.
60. Episode 60.
We've entered our elderly stage.
Or 50. What's one of those? I forget. But yes, 60. 60.
The big 6-0.
What episode do you think we'll be on by the start of the season? Everyone put your bets in. I'm going to say...
Yeah, 63.
Don't do the math. Just say it. I'm going to say 66. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's like 4 weeks away. So 64 or 65. But the season's upcoming. We got some good stuff to talk about. The franchise tag deadline or some type of deadline, right?
I think it was
franchise tag deadline. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Mr. Dak Prescott and his 10 interceptions under. FanDuel should put a bet under 10 interceptions at like plus 500.
Yeah, I would take it.
I would take it too.
MVP Dak. Here we go.
So MVP Dak under 10.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about him. I want to get into the boys because we haven't touched on them in a while. We're going to talk about D-Hop. And we're also going to talk about Mr. Colin Cowherd's quarterback top 10 list.
Yep.
And whatever else that comes to mind, we're going to chat about that as well.
Yes.
So with that being said, let's hop right into the Cowboys. I don't know why. Something's hitting me that something's going to happen. Like I got a feeling here, Muller. So what do you think? What do you think about the Cowboys state right now? Do you like where you guys are headed? Do you like where you're positioned at the moment with your players, coaching, quarterback, defense? Let's go, man. Let's hear it.
I mean, I like where we're at. I like where the mentality's at. The boys just took a trip to Georgia. Dak and the fellas got some balls thrown around the yard, threw the pigskin around, drank some beers.
Yeah.
I think the vibes are good. You don't see the Eagles doing this. Not to mention Jalen Hurts has like the same stats as Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, I saw that too. Uh-oh.
Yeah, generational talent. What can I say?
And someone
Tyrod Taylor.
Someone tweeted something saying you can't even compare the two because Tyrod got stabbed in the lung.
Yeah, so actually Tyrod's probably better. His own training staff was trying to take him out. His own training staff.
Because they just knew his potential.
Yeah, it's truly a crazy thing. But let's get into Dak. We don't need to harp on the Eagles because they're you don't win the league twice. He's throwing under 10 interceptions this year.
I'm taking that bet.
Easily.
I'm taking that bet.
He won't throw more than 10. He in his career, rookie year, he threw 4 in 16 games, 13-3 record. In 2018, he threw 8. In 2020, he threw 4. 2021, he threw 10. I mean, it's all he's gonna throw. Maybe
last year.
Last year was 15. That was because that's why this is a big thing. That's why it's a big thing. So
like the confidence.
You see, Dak. Dak is an MVP caliber quarterback. And if he can throw under 10 interceptions, you know he's going to be getting the ball into the end zone. This league is built on scoring. You need to score to win the games. Defense gets screwed every game with the way the rules are. And I think if Dak can keep the ball in Cowboys' hands and not get confused with who CeeDee Lamb is, who Brown, I think he was getting really confused with some of the players on the field. Like, he kept forgetting what numbers they were last year, who he was allowed to throw to.
Is he colorblind?
No,
he's not.
No.
Okay.
But here's actually a funny thing.
How'd you find that stat so quick?
What?
If he's colorblind or not?
Pro Football Reference.
Yeah.
They have everything.
Wow, amazing.
I'm not kidding. I'm on it. So, but this is what's killing me. His nickname supposedly is the Fortress.
The Fortress?
The Fortress.
That should be the Cowboys' line.
No,
we got to talk about that too.
There we go. Yep, Zach Martin. Now you see what I was talking about?
Yeah.
Not happy. Now, if Zach Martin doesn't play, this man easily could throw 20 interceptions this year. Just going to throw that one out there. Really need the man to play. I think he's going to get his money. Zach Martin's been great to us, but let's not get into that. We're talking about Dak. 4-8-4. The man's going to throw 8 interceptions this year. Mark it down. Take it to the bank.
There you go. And I don't know what – I mean, based off the outlier of 14 picks or whatever that he threw last year.
Yeah.
That could potentially, for betting purposes, make that number be around 10.5.
Yeah.
I would hit the under on that, absolutely. I mean, you're taking your gamble. 4 out of 5 times he threw under 10, so you got to keep riding that. I mean, ride the hot hand.
Also, we got to remember Josh Allen threw like 20 picks last year. Like, there's guys in this league that consistently throw picks, but ESPN bumps them up so you just don't see it. If ESPN would bump Dak up the way that they do all of them and not tear him down, everyone would be like, yo, Dak, like, he doesn't throw that many interceptions. Because Josh Allen, no one says anything about it. That's just Josh Allen being Josh Allen. The moment Dak Prescott does it, you got Stephen A. posting 7 videos because he's obsessed. He's obsessed with Dak. Dak has so much real estate in Stephen A. Smith's brain. It's unreal. It's unreal. Dak Prescott owns ESPN. He is ESPN. Without Dak Prescott, half those shows don't even exist.
Honestly, Skip Bayless, being a Cowboys fan, is the most hilarious thing ever because his videos that he posts, he's just like...
Now, I'm going to say something, and I don't want Skip to be mad at me because I love him.
Like, how do you just post that? You see that video, and you're like, I'm going to post my frustration based off this video. Bam. Like, that's cringe as fuck, dude.
Well, fakest frustration.
Like,
we got to keep in mind who we're talking about here. You know what I mean?
Bayless.
Like, it's Skip Bayless. This is the same guy that poses in his Cowboys jersey every Sunday like this. And then posts a picture of his shoes. That the man is repurposing his shoes. He's going back through all the Jordans he has and says can't lose in these shoes. Like, dude, just retweet the tweet you had 4 weeks ago. You're wearing the same Jordans.
You know what he should wear? The Nike Monarchs. I think that'd be perfect for Skip Bayless.
He should make a 180 where Skechers, wear Monarch. Like, just go the opposite direction.
Maybe that's what he needs to do because he's getting all these flashy clothes and it's just not performing like the Cowboys should. Not flashy, just bland. Maybe he's got to go for some crappy shoes and kind of reverse the curse.
Now, I'm going to point something out. Hand up. The second time Dak had 4 interceptions, he only played 5 games.
Okay.
So,
listen, this is the thing about interceptions that people don't realize. When you look at interceptions and the numbers of interceptions, a lot of them might not be on the quarterback. There are some quarterbacks that are blatantly throwing picks, but some are deep throws that obviously you want them to do. You want them to take a risk and just gets picked off, gets tipped up in the air, safety comes, picks it off. You have others like freaking Tyler Conklin, goes off his hands, linebacker's there, picks it off. Like, those interceptions are like, okay, come on now. Like, that's not their fault, but obviously the numbers still count. They're going to count towards the quarterback. Just something to point out. There were some of Josh Allen that were actually his fault. So...
Josh Allen had some egregious ones.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, if you go back through and watch his... Yeah, there were a few where you're shaking your head, but that's like 3 or 4 of them. There was another 10 that he hits him in the numbers or he hits him in the hands, and they just give it to the other team. Like,
such
at some point, I'm surprised Dak stood by some of these guys last year because it was embarrassing watching some of them play. Really embarrassing.
Who's going to be the tight end now? Is he going to be the Hendershot guy? Is he going to be the starter?
That would be really good for my fantasy team.
I know. So right now it's Hendershot and just a bunch of other the draft pick, Schoonmaker, whatever.
Yeah. They're expecting him to be something.
That's good.
Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson was the other guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that you said the Zach Martin news too. I mean, that's one player you just have to pay. I mean, he is getting older, but he's still an elite fucking talent.
Dude, he's a Pro Bowler every year.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's just such an under the radar guy, but like should not be because he's just that talented. I mean, you gotta just pay him. Just get it over with.
If they can sign Zach Martin and make him happy and get on with the season, what I'm looking at right now has the quality to win the NFC East and make noise in the playoffs. Like, the offense has that quality, and then we know what the defense is capable of. I mean, as long as our boy is on the field. I mean, Mike is the best defender in the league. As long as he's on the field, we are going to have a chance to win every game.
What's up with Leighton Vander Esch? Is he like one injury away from getting cut and then replacing him?
Nah, I personally like him because when you look at the games,
great run stuffer.
Yeah, when he doesn't play, we get attacked by running backs. When he's on the field, he's able to sniff it out, and he can keep us in the game in that sense. When he's not on the field, it gets ugly. Mm-hmm. And I got to give a shout-out to my guy.
Your guy?
Stephon Gilmore, I'm really hoping that he plays well. Because I'm already calling him my guy. I didn't want to get to this point, but I need him to be my guy.
And
I can't
where did this come out of? Stephon Gilmore.
I can't go another season where, like, when they're throwing away from Diggs, we just get brutally attacked.
I think he still got it.
I hope he does.
I just think the Colts didn't want to pay him. I didn't think the Colts wanted to give him the money. I mean, that's
a bad organization.
Yeah, they've really haven't been able to maintain what they've gotten. But yeah, I mean, I think Gilmore can succeed in that defense for sure. I mean, it's his first NFC team, so we're gonna see. I mean, he's still playing at a decent caliber level, or high caliber level. So I think he'll be fine for you, especially as a cornerback 2.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Tony Pollard, because he is another running back out of the other 2 to not sign a deal after that franchise tag deadline. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think everyone's okay with it. I think Tony's okay with it, because if you look at what he's done for us, I mean, he wasn't you could argue last year he was our number 1 back.
He was.
And numbers wise, he was.
Absolutely.
But Zeke was our number guy. Like, he was the number 1 guy. And I think this year it's almost like that. I think you got to look at it this way. The Cowboys just went through a whole thing with Zeke after they paid him a lot of money. There wasn't much production afterwards. They aren't just going to jump back in and throw all this money at a running back. No matter how good they were, it wasn't going to happen. So I think this year, Tony Pollard, if he continues to progress and is that guy once again, he'll get his money. But the Cowboys, they're not in a position where they just were mocked for 2 or 3 years for giving this guy all this money. There's no way. Like, do you really think Jerry Jones is going to throw a bag at Tony Pollard?
Especially after what it
could have been any running back. Yeah. Like I said, I think he's easily a top 5 running back in the league, personally.
I think with Pollard, out of him, Jacobs, and Saquon, that is probably the most safest running back to be back on his team, because he really only blossomed last year. Like, last year was his first, like, oh, who is this guy? Oh, it's Tony Pollard. Like, he's elite. Like, you can see his skill level and the way he runs and the way he just took over that backfield. I mean, personally, I thought Zeke was definitely an RB1 in a way, just because he was a Cowboy, but that was definitely Tony Pollard's backfield.
Yeah, as long as Zeke was on the team, it was always going to be Zeke first,
for
Pollard
sure.
second.
Yeah.
So
he'll be back.
That's why I don't think Zeke will come back.
Well, yeah, not Zeke. I'm saying Tony, because they're not going to pay him. Tony's going to be okay with playing on that tag. And then from there, I mean, based off the philosophy of all these GMs and stuff, they're going to go draft a quarterback or draft a running back. I'm sorry. So you don't pay him. You let him succeed for you, and then you get another running back.
They'll get him a deal. He'll get a deal done.
He definitely deserves it.
And I think it's because his situation, just like we just explained, is why this one's so different. Like, he's not making a big fuss about it.
No.
He's showing up to stuff. Like, the Saquons, like, all right, you've been on the team for a number of years. You've been the guy, and they still don't want to pay you. Like, that's where I see, like, from his perspective, why he's saying and doing the things he's doing.
I think that between Saquon and Jacobs, I think that the Jacobs situation, and a little bit biased here because of Zamir White, but I think the Jacobs situation is low-key is probably the worst out of those other 2 running backs. Like, Saquon, just because they paid Danny Dimes, like, that was a big factor, but Saquon is that missing piece to that organization. Like, obviously they got a lot of holes, but, like, having Saquon there makes a huge difference than not having Saquon there. I think they're going to realize that, and they're going to give him a bag.
Who is the backup?
Matt Breida. Matt Breida.
Yeah, come on. What are we like?
Eric Gray also.
That's rookie guy. Yeah, Eric Gray. I mean,
I'm just gonna hit you guys straight here. Those names don't pop for me. If
not
you're gonna
like
play
Saquon Barkley,
like Saquon Barkley has a little zing to it. Like, those names, Matt Breida. Oh, go ahead, hand it off to Matt. We'll tackle him. Like, if you put Saquon Barkley back there, I am terrified that there's going to be 6 points on the board every time. maybe 7. Their kicker kind of sucks. But if you put Matt Breida back there, it's like, all right, go ahead, try and run. I'm scared of Danny Dimes.
When I hear the name Matt Breida, the first thing I picture is just him getting tackled, running right up the middle, and that's all he does.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but this is the thing that the Giants have to figure out now. It's like, do you want to make a playoff push? Do you want to potentially be a team that makes a push and is actually good? Okay, sign Saquon. Or do you want to play it smart and let him go and save a bunch of money and just rebuild the running back position like the Chiefs did, get a 7th-round pick, and just go from there? They're not in a position right now, in my opinion. Like, I don't think the Giants are a bad team. Like, they're working through it, but they're not in a position right now where they can afford that because they don't have a wide receiver 1. I mean, they have a bunch of, like, mediocre receivers. They have a pretty good tight end, but having that explosive piece in the back just changes the trajectory of the whole, your play calling, the defense's play calling, who they focus on. Because, dude, all you can do, if you just got to focus on Danny Dimes and Matt Breida and Gray if you really wanted to. Like, the receivers aren't going to be burning you. Yeah. Like, you could just blitz the hell out of him. But with Saquon, you got to be a lot more careful what you do. So I think you have to. You have right where they're at right now and how their team is looking. You have to sign Saquon Barkley. It doesn't matter how much he wants. I mean, obviously it does, but $15 million a year.
Like, just give him the money.
I don't know exactly what offer they gave him. Gas, do you know?
No, it hasn't come out, but I'm guessing, dude, it has to be around like $8 or $9 million a year.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it can be much more than that.
That's probably what they're giving him. Yeah, I mean,
maybe 10 mil, maybe 11.
Like,
it can't be more than that.
I think 15 is like your top. I mean, Saquon's going to want a lot too, just because of his past injury. But if you can't come to a deal around 15 mil for 4 years, then you're shit out of luck. But
so
that'd be an NBA
podcast, right?
Yeah. So what he said, pretty much. Gas, you want to say it? I know you were watching it.
Just give a little recap. So Saquon was just on a podcast. He said basically, I never wanted it to be fuck the Giants. I never wanted it to be fuck my teammates. And he said that. He said that in quotes. Yeah. He said, I'm not that type of guy. Like, anyone who knows me knows I'm not that type of guy. And I never wanted it to come to that. But shit, like, it's getting to the point where it might have to come to that.
I mean, listen. Well, once you're in the league, it's just business at that point. Like, it's just simple, and that's what you got to do. I mean, this is the one position, and I kind of feel for them because this is a very important position. Like, they are definitely getting devalued to the max right now. Yep. You know who's like making the most right now as a running back? Bijan Robinson is making the most. He's up there he's making more than Derrick Henry. He's making more than Josh Jacobs. He's making more than a lot of guys, and he hasn't even played one snap yet.
We don't even know if he'll be good.
And then that's the thing too. Like, all of these guys that are highly touted, like, they might not even be good. I mean,
think about
you
how many
never
guys
know.
We've seen that weren't good. They're gonna
first round picks. I mean, with running backs, I don't know. Quarterbacks, it's different, but
the highly touted running backs are
usually pan out. But you never know.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, but now I want to talk about Jacobs here because that team, like, I'm sorry, I'm with the Raiders on this. Like, why the hell would you sign a guy who, and I'll be honest, like, he was not that good before this year. He was decent. Like, he was maybe RB15, like, hovering around there. But this was his first, like, breakout year. But why would you sign him now when your team is just atrocious? You have Devontae Adams, you have a good left tackle, Max Crosby, and Jacobs.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree with you here.
Go ahead.
This team reminds me of, like, this team would be really good in fantasy, like, in the year 2018. If they can channel that and bring up, like, this is a LeBron James type of team. You know, he brings all his friends. You got Jimmy, you got Devontae Adams, you got Jacoby Myers, you got Hunter Renfrow, Austin Hooper. There's Max Crosby.
They're solid players, but you got to remember about
Max Crosby.
Yeah, you got to remember that division that they play in. Like, dude, they don't stand a chance in that division. I'm sorry, they do not stand a chance. Jimmy G, we haven't seen him play in like 2 years. Like, we don't even know if he has it. Jacoby Myers was a good pickup. Hunter Renfrow was definitely on the decline this year. Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. The O-line is still shaky. They have one good left tackle. I mean, Josh McDaniels, what he didn't show us diddly squat last year. I mean, you got to remember, he's from the Patriots, and they have a different way systematically of going about running an offense and how they treat their, I wouldn't say treat their players, but how they go about using their players. For example, the Patriots right now, they got Ramondre Stevenson. Who are they working out? They're working out Leonard Fournette right now.
Yep.
Like, I mean, yeah, you're probably going to need a RB2, but they got Pierre Strong, but they just have this committee. They don't want to pay running backs. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Ramondre leaves or gets traded or he walks after 2 years.
Oh, after 2 years, yeah. But
like, they're not going to bring him back.
If Leonard Fournette signs with them, do not draft Stevenson.
No.
Do not draft him.
And this is the thing.
Do not even come close to him because he will play maybe first down, second down. You will not see him.
Or probably just third down and just have Leonard run it. But I don't think that's going to happen. But like that's another thing with the Patriots. They will always be by committee because who are their receivers? Juju and Tyquan Thornton and
Devontae Parker.
Hunter Henry. He can.
Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, those tight ends are solid, but
Pierre Strong Jr.
Just
Kendrick Bourne.
I just feel like Josh.
They have Kayshon Boutte.
They do have Kayshon Boutte.
They do,
but apparently he is Boutte indeed.
Boutte.
Yeah, but it's just I just don't see Josh McDaniels doing it. I mean, do you guys really think the Raiders are going to make a push? Because I don't. I do not at all. Think about their first round draft picks, by the way. Damon Arnett, you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Dude was putting an M4 on Twitter, his Twitter profile. Like him, Alex Leatherwood, random person that freaking the GM just reached for. Like, who is this guy? Cleveland Farrell, pick number 4. He was terrible.
The problem with the Raiders is that
a dysfunctional organization.
No, they could be
just lose.
They could be a functional team, but you're in a division with the Chiefs and Mahomes. You got Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, who will not be as bad as they were last year.
No,
and then you got
the Chargers.
Herbert. It's
like I don't know how you succeed there.
You're not going to win unless you somehow go get the best quarterback the world's ever seen.
Like Jimmy G and Devontae have to be like the best duo in the league for you to even just pass the Chiefs. No one's beating them, bro. Like they're just not ready. And like this is why I think they should just clean house. Like Devontae Adams is not happy there. You could tell he just does not want to be there because
should have been on the Jets.
Devontae, yeah, imagine. We're not going to get into that. We're not talking about the Jets. No Jets. They aren't Hard Knocks. I will say that. We could talk about that maybe a little bit. But no, the Raiders are done. Don't sign Josh Jacobs. He's going to go elsewhere, and I think he's going to hold out for a while. I don't think Saquon will. I think Saquon will play all in all. And then Josh Jacobs, I don't think he's going to – I don't think
like Saquon's going to hold out, kind of.
Yeah, but I think they can figure something out before the year starts. I just feel like that's one player you just don't screw it up with. And I'm telling you, we would have heard something by now if they don't want him, in my opinion. I feel like they wouldn't – but maybe not, but I just think they can't mess that up. I mean, granted, he's had a couple of years where – he's done okay because of his injury, but when he's on the field healthy, dude, that's an easy top 5 running back.
Yeah, Danny Dimes needs him.
Danny Dimes needs him bad, and so do the receivers. I mean, look, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, Jalen Hyatt, Isaiah Hodgins is solid, but that's it. They don't have a true wide receiver 1.
They do have what's his name, tight end now,
Darren Waller, yeah, but the receiving core, I mean, are you comfortable with that core? I mean, it's just a bunch of Jalen Hyatt was apparently working out with the third stringers. Paris Campbell is a journeyman right now. Like, he's still trying to get his footing. Darius Slayton's Sterling Shepard. He can't stay on the field. Darius Slayton he's there, like, but he's not putting up crazy numbers. So they got to sign him. In my opinion, they just have to do it. If you want to win now, you got to do it. And that's what I've noticed, too. One more thing. This is what I've noticed. Remember when I was talking about Carr and wanting Derek Carr for longevity? Like, football really is different. And sometimes you got to do stuff to win now. Am I saying I still wanted Rodgers? No, I wanted Lamar. But, like, I can see where they're coming from 100%. That's all I'm going to say on that. Yeah. But what are you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, if the Giants, like, win now, I don't even know if they could win now. And when you look at the – almost said the R word. When you look at the Commanders, if they don't sign Saquon, Giants are the 4th place team in this division.
That would be – I don't think they would, but that would be pretty awesome. Yo, I mean –
dude.
Saquon to the boys?
Jerry,
Saquon
throw
to the
bag
boys?
at him.
I mean,
Jerry, throw the bag at him. I know what
why
I
would
said
you
earlier.
not, dude?
I know what I said earlier.
Why would you not?
But let's throw the bag at him.
Okay, now let's think of some scenarios of where we'll start with Saquon and then maybe move to Jacobs of like maybe 3 teams where Saquon just fits perfectly and you can't see why he wouldn't. The Cowboys is one for me. Like I think he would be perfect on the Cowboys.
Imagine Saquon and Micah link up. Imagine the pictures on Instagram. They'd be the coolest duo in the league.
Imagine Dak, how happy he would be.
Oh,
Imagine CD.
Dak would be ecstatic. Zeke would be happy.
Imagine Mike McCarthy. I mean, fuck that guy, but like, think about how much pressure that he takes off of the whole receiver group.
You think Mike's fat now? Just wait till he throws that party. Dude's going to be, dude, he might add another 200 pounds in excitement.
I mean, Miami is always in the running because they want a running back, but the Cowboys would be my top pick for Saquon. And I know Tony Pollard is that guy. But if there's one guy that just alleviates your offense, it is Saquon.
Yep.
Think about how happy it would be. CD, Cooks.
Yep.
Like, yo, we got Saquon. It's essentially a running back, receiver, tight end, kicker, whatever you want to call it.
Give him number 21.
Any other teams you guys can think of that Saquon could fit on? That's my one. So I'll leave it to you guys. There's a lot. Just got to think what fits.
That's what she said.
Yes.
It's
right on the
it's
spot.
a really good question. It's a really, really, really,
Really?
really good question.
I want to say maybe Buffalo.
I was thinking Buffalo.
Like I don't know if they throw a bag at him, but like that would be perfect.
I
Buffalo?
was thinking maybe Ekeler leaves. Maybe you bring Saquon to LA.
I was actually just thinking that too.
Put him and Air Bear.
I got one. What about the Minnesota Vikings?
No.
You don't think the Minnesota Vikings?
I don't think he would enjoy that.
Why not? Just because of Kirk?
Yeah. They
Captain Kirk?
They don't look good together. There's something about Daniel Jones and Saquon that it still looks off, but like they don't look good together.
Even with the best receiver in the league?
Air Bear and Saquon walking off the field together, that looks tough. You
Just
gotta
not
think about
Kirk.
the Instagram photos.
Instagram photos, okay.
Dak and him looks tough. Mahomes and him doesn't. That doesn't look good.
I mean, we might as well not even watch this season if he went there. So,
Kenny Pickett and Saquon?
well, they got Najee.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
I know. I'm just thinking of how it would look when they come out of the tunnel together.
Saquon would look tough in the Steelers uniform. I'm not
Jets?
Yeah. He is a Jets fan.
Jets?
He is a Jets fan.
He looks good in the new Jets uniforms. Not the old ones, the new ones with the shiny stuff on it.
Dalvin might be at the Jets, so.
Lamar and Saquon.
That's a scary duo.
That would be terrifying.
However, Saquon and Odell did team up one time, and it did not go as planned. But him on that offense, that's a scary offense,
that would
though.
be ridiculous. That would probably be exactly what their offense needs because they've needed a spark for Lamar's whole career now.
Yep.
And that would be an interesting one because Lamar is asking for weapons.
Yeah, he has been. Now, what about Jacobs? Are there any teams of mine that you can think of that he can go to?
The Vikings.
The Vikings. You see, now I can see Jacobs in Miami. Like, I could be like a Miami destination.
Jacobs sounds like a good Colt.
Now with JT there, baby. I could see maybe like a Carolina Panther. I think that he could be a Panther there.
Yeah, but who'd they just get? No, they have
Miles Sanders.
Yeah, and Miles. I don't think Miles Sanders is going to play. Still stand by that.
Yeah, I mean,
do you guys? Well, all right. I don't want to get too far into this. C.J. Gardner-Johnson has to be the most hated man in Philadelphia.
Ooh.
He just said that.
Speaking the truth?
He said on a stream that Eagles fans were the worst part of playing in Philadelphia. He said they are the worst people in the world, obnoxious. Not saying he's wrong, but
that's what Philly's known for, man. But they rock it, though. I gotta respect that.
Yeah, like you knew what you were getting into. But apart from that, back to Jacobs.
That's a tough one.
Almost did it again. The Commanders.
The Commanders? I kind of like that.
I like him in those uniforms.
You're a uniform type of guy.
Yeah,
Let's not get into the uniforms again.
No, but you have to look good in the uniform. You know what I mean? Think about it. All right, Dak Prescott in a Jets uniform. That looks stupid. Yeah, thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
So the uniform is
It's
a major
massive.
factor.
Think about Dak in an Eagles
But if they start
uniform.
doing good, you think he'd look better in the uniform? If say we were 5-0 with Dak in a Jets uniform, would he look better? Would it change anything?
No, eventually
I feel like it kind of does.
it's going to go downhill. It's like your golf game. Everyone's golf game. My golf game. Your golf game. Your golf game. Like, all right, you par. You might get a bogey. You get another par. Eventually, you're going to have an 8, and then you're going to get pissed, and then you're going to take that par 3 and make a 5, and then you're going to follow that up with maybe you get a bogey. You're like, maybe I'm back, and then you put one into the trees. That's what would happen if Dak was on the Jets.
I think we should talk. So before the show started, we were coming up with some ideas because we are going to be recording our first recorded golf session where Mikey tries to break 100 and Muller tries to break 80. Was that the number for you?
Yeah. Yep.
So that will be this Saturday.
Yep. Release date to be determined. It's going to take a lot of editing.
Now, with the ideas that we were throwing around, we have a couple. So the one that I came up with, so I'm trying to break 100. If you can guess my correct score, maybe on YouTube, on Instagram, something, you're going to get something from us. Maybe a guest appearance on the show, maybe a golf session with myself and Muller and Gass. But you're going to get something. Now, Muller had another idea too, which I like.
So going off what you were saying there, we can there's a setting on YouTube that we can do like a premiere. We can schedule it and stuff, so we could get it out a little bit earlier about like, guess the score and stuff. I think the scores will be very erratic, maybe up in the 120s for some people. No offense, Mike. I will be guessing.
I think I'm going to shock the world.
I'm going to be guessing a 69 personally.
I'm going to shock the world.
No, I'm being dead serious.
I'm going to shock the world.
PJ Tour, here we come.
But I do get one mulligan each hole.
No, not when we're trying to break 100. That's for the mulligan challenge, which we will also do. We're going to have a couple challenges that come out. We'll do a mulligan challenge. We'll do some scrambles. But that's where our next idea comes, where we want you, the people, the listeners, if you have a partner that you go golfing with, by all means, please challenge us.
Please challenge us. We
don't know how good of a team we are, but we know damn well we'll beat you.
And you will be featured on the show on YouTube. So don't be camera shy. It's going to be fun. And just watch out because Muller's bad and I'm terrible. Yep. So who knows? We're underdogs.
Yep.
So this Saturday, tune in. We're going to push it, and it's going to be awesome.
Well, not this Saturday. This Saturday would be
this Saturday, definitely next Saturday.
We're definitely going to play this Saturday. Now, the video might not come out until like next Saturday.
Okay.
Or the next one, depending on vacations and stuff.
Dealio. So, yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be so much fun. And I'm going on Sunday, and I might go to the driving range on Friday just to get some swings in. And then maybe if I get good, I'll start really getting the nice clubs, and you can call me Jordan Spieth. Or Ches Reavie, actually. I'm sorry.
Ches Reavie, yeah, that's our guy. Yep. He's with Ches Reavie. Is he playing in the Open? Open Championship starts tomorrow, by the way.
I think he actually is. If I'm correct,
let's see.
Ches is on the roster.
Let me see.
Or Ches made the cut in golf terms.
The Open Field.
Just want to say, too, the Mets won the game yesterday, and Brett Beatty dropped a pop fly to third, and he just completely misjudged it. But I will say I'm going to give him some slack here because that ball was tailing like a mofo. Lefty Max Muncy hit it, and it literally went left and then just started curving right. And Brett Beatty could not handle it, and it's okay because he's young, and I'm going to give him some slack here. I don't think the Mets are making a playoff push. I hope they prove me wrong. Blow it up, sell everybody, trade everybody except for a couple pieces, and that's it.
Ches Reavie is not in the Open. Yep.
Ches was great though. He had a couple great moments. He almost won.
Pulled it off.
He almost won. That was great. Had a nice little cash out bet. Shout out to Ches. Shout out to Pacer. And Gassy, you're gonna be there to record us.
I will.
Okay, but we're gonna do it. Sober.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna be sober.
We can have one or two.
All right, one or two.
I think that's because that would be a more accurate. You know?
Yeah, I think you definitely need something to kind of cool you off, but also like keep you zoned in, keep you focused.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, you got anything else? Because I maybe want to touch on D-Hop a little bit.
I mean, honestly, what is there even to talk about this guy? He said all this stuff that he wanted and made these demands, and then he just went to the Titans. Like, you could if every demand that you were saying just was backwards. Like, it makes no sense. Let me pull it up. I think I have it right here. All right, so in May, Hopkins comes out and he's like, these are what I want in my next team. A quarterback that loves the game and brings everyone on board with him. I'm sorry. Who is the Titans quarterback this year?
Ryan Tannehill, baby.
Are we sure?
He loves the game.
Are we sure?
He doesn't play the game just to play. He
Are we
plays because
sure
he
that
loves
he's
it.
going to be the quarterback? We don't even know who the quarterback is.
I'm pretty
so
positive.
there, X over that. All right, well, even so, that guy's got like 1.5 good throws in him.
Okay, it's an X.
Great defense. Defense wins championships. This is a quote. Got to have a great D-line.
Their D-line is actually not that bad.
D-line is
Their
not that
defense
bad.
Okay. Their defense is okay. I will give it to them.
Yeah, but the fact that you have to say it's okay means it's bordering on being bad.
So X?
X.
Okay.
Stable management because he says he's been through 4 GMs in his career.
Mike Vrabel has been there.
He has been there. That's about the only thing that he's got going for him. And, yeah, so he basically chose Vrabel. I think he only chose it because of Nashville.
Did you know Mike Vrabel has the most touchdowns on the team before D-Hop came? He had the most touchdowns on the team.
No, that's
current
that's
staff,
what I mean.
current player.
That's what I mean. This team
Mike
sucks.
Vrabel was a linebacker. He was a linebacker. He had 12 touchdowns.
They might lose twice to the Colts this year by more than 2 touchdowns.
Now, this is interesting because if you look at the past history of wide receivers who were in their prime and then move to the Titans, you had guys like Randy Moss. I believe T.O. was another guy that was on it. Julio was another guy too.
Julio did great there.
Did terrible. Terrible. Now, does D-Hop follow that? Does he follow that past history? History does repeat itself, Mueller.
Are we sure Nashville didn't have anything to do with this?
We don't know.
With all of those, I think guys are like, "Oh, this is their MLS."
Yeah,
They did great.
That's a great.
They
comparison.
did great where they were, and they're like, "All right, where's the retirement team? Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee, the Titans.
Book it. Take me there." Hey, CeeDee Lamb in 10 years will be a Nashville, Tennessee Titan.
Garrett Wilson, Tennessee Titan, 10 years.
10 years.
12 years.
12 years.
We got to look into this. Like, are guys at the end of their career just going to Tennessee?
I think there are.
I'm going to do a deep dive.
The Jets too. What? We can't even say that. Quarterbacks that exit their prime and are ready to move on have come to the Jets. Favre.
No, but that
Rodgers.
No, that's that's different.
Air
That's way
conditioner.
different.
The air conditioner.
They come hoping that they win, but then it ends up getting thrown in their face and they lose really bad and it's terrible.
That's why I'm scared.
The guys that go to Nashville are at least enjoying their time.
Yeah, just because
Like it's different. This is their this is their Cabo while they have to play the season.
Yep. I mean, he's wide receiver 1. I did trade him to Nietzsche. I think that was a good move.
That was a good move because they don't even have a quarterback.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about Derrick Henry? You think he provides the same numbers? I think he does.
Yeah.
He is getting older. He's around 31, but he's still a beast. And the O-line is sketch, so it's going to be a lot on his shoulders, but we'll see what happens.
That's what she said.
Hello.
Djokovic did say that the new 34 is 24 after losing to Carlos Alcaraz.
He is so good.
So good.
Alcaraz.
Yeah, no,
He is a beast.
He might never lose again.
No.
So yeah, Derrick Henry. No. He'll have a good year. He'll have a good year like the tire, but I don't think he'll be.
The peak has been reached.
Yeah, I think he's on the downslope. Hopefully, it's not muddy.
Hopefully, it's not slippery. We don't need ankles broken. I don't
know. Oh, we're giving away a jersey, maybe. If you guys want it. If you guys want to follow us, we'll give you a jersey. 500. 500 followers.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts
so good, baby.
Hurts so good.
Like this is how much I want you guys to be able to listen to us and follow us and get to see all the cool stuff we do. I'm willing to give you a Jalen Hurts jersey, and that makes me sick.
Mulder's going to be holding that jersey.
Because I know I'm giving you the jersey of a man that is just not good enough. He's not good enough.
This is what I wanted to talk about, too.
Oh, all right. So we're not done.
We're not done. This is probably going to be our last segment here, but it's going to be a decent amount. Now, My buddies and my GM, they sent a list of a top 10 quarterbacks.
Oh, yes.
Posted by Colin Cowherd. I want to hear what you two think about the list itself, and then what you would switch, what you would change, and we'll go from there. So, number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Joe Burrow. Number 3, Josh Allen.
Wait, sorry. Can we restart real quick? Sorry, that's
Sure.
on me.
You gonna play some music?
This thing popped up on ESPN. Apparently, the whole athletic department and program has had a bad hazing and sexual abuse thing at Northwestern. But continue.
Yeah, you better go watch that YouTube video too, please. But we're not going to talk about that. It was a great episode, but
Sorry, that's on me.
Terrible stuff
That's
happened.
on me.
Terrible stuff.
All right.
So, top 10 quarterbacks. I'll start with 1, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Joe Burrow. 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Trevor Lawrence. Number 5, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Aaron Rodgers. 7, Jalen Hurts. 8, Lamar. 9, Matthew Stafford. And 10, Russell Wilson. If you guys want to look, just so you can see, visual learners. There's a lot of them in the world. Checking out.
I'm going to sound like a homer here, but you mean to tell me that Dak Prescott isn't better than some of the guys on that list? Coming into this season, you're telling me that Dak Prescott isn't better than Matthew Stafford, who can't even move? He's not better than Russ, who last year could not even play the position.
You said he's not better than Russ?
No, he is better than
Russ.
Russ.
Is better than Russ.
I'm
Okay.
saying, can you tell me that he's like, and then Trevor Lawrence being number 4. We're living in this is, what are we talking about?
Top 10 quarterback segment. Is that what we have to do now? We could do it next show just to kind of put our lists out there and see which.
Yeah, I say we come back next show, we regroup, and we do it.
Okay.
Because that's atrocious. Colin should be ashamed.
It's going to stir up controversy. There are some stuff within the top 10, like the quarterbacks that are in the top 10, I agree with most of them. There are some that are definitely hot takes.
He's got to be trolling. He has to be trolling.
I mean, he's just losing his mind. He has to be.
He's got to be trolling.
Gas, what do you think?
I don't think the names on that list are too far off. I don't know. I would have to look at a list of all the quarterbacks and see who got left out. I think maybe Kirk could be on there.
That's what I was thinking.
Over Russ.
I don't think Matt Stafford should be on the top 10 whatsoever.
Matt Stafford's not even going to start.
Matt
Stafford's not going to start next year.
This upcoming year?
Stetson Bennett. No, not this year. He will. Next year.
Following.
The next year.
I think a lot of people are hating on Trev. Do I think he's a top 5 quarterback? No.
Yes, that's what I.
Do I think he's a top 10 quarterback? I definitely think he's a top 10 quarterback, and we're going to see it this year.
I agree
100%.
with that. I agree with that, but to put him at number 4 is wild.
That is pretty wild. Listen, it could be based off future projections, but Trevor Lawrence in the top 10 is not a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take at all.
No.
What I would change here, just based off looking at this and going off the top of my head, I would definitely put Jalen Hurts in the top 5. Even though a lot of hate, but he needs to be in the top 5.
I would put him right behind Joe Burrow.
I think he makes a case for 3. I think
you can make a case for 2. Really.
I think Joe Burrow's solidified at 2.
You think?
I think he's definitely solidified at 2.
We'll
but
see.
I think Jalen Hurts could definitely be 3. I mean, Josh Allen. I mean, again, if you take in the system, you take in the offensive line, but Jalen Hurts made minimal mistakes last year. Besides the Super Bowl where he had that fumble, he is 100% a top 5 quarterback. But he's in the discussion to be 3.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Lamar's a tough one because he's been hurt, but I think he breaks 5. I think right now my top 5, just not even thinking about other quarterbacks solely on this list, would be Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and then I'd probably put Jalen and then Lamar. Those would probably be my top 5. And then after that, I mean, Herbert and Lawrence are definitely there. Stafford's gone. Russell might be gone too. Rodgers, I mean, he's got to be top 10.
Rodgers is in the MVP talk every year. Until he's not in the MVP talk, he has to be top 10.
Now, if I think of other quarterbacks that can be in the top 10, I mean, Kirk is definitely, I guess, up there. Justin Fields is another guy. I don't think he's there yet, but he will be.
Derek Carr.
I would take hot take Goff. I think Goff is close.
Yeah.
Russ. I mean,
Jared Goff.
I'm just saying Russ here. Like I don't
after
like
the year Russ just had. You cannot put him in anywhere close to the top 10 conversation. You can't.
Jared Goff will never get the respect he deserves because he's playing in Detroit. It doesn't matter how good he plays. He will never be put in that list.
Dude, Stafford never did in Detroit,
Yeah.
and he was pretty
Yep.
He'll never get put in that list. They go up there and they get forgotten about.
What about what do you guys think about Tua? You think Tua is a top 10 quarterback?
If he stays healthy, yeah.
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 If you look at his numbers, he was easily the best quarterback. Through those weeks
That's the problem
last year, he was the best quarterback.
He just has to stay healthy. I
Yeah.
mean, dude gets slammed like a freaking ragdoll. But yeah, we'll come back with that, but definitely something to build off of. I like where we're going with that. Maybe we could do that each week instead of fantasy. We can maybe do like just top
Rankings.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do like different rankings for each of us, and then we could post them or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not here for the Trev hate though. Like Trevor Lawrence, listen, it was his second year last year. His first year was a complete wash. Like,
Well, the team sucked.
yeah, and Urban
Team
Meyer
sucked.
was fondling girls at a bar. Like, Trevor Lawrence is that guy, and with Ridley there, I'm telling you, that man's going to be different. Like we gotta take into consideration here too. Like he was one of the best prospects we've seen.
He hadn't
He
lost
didn't lose
a
a
game
game until the championship.
until that one championship. Crazy.
So Justin Fields.
Yeah, the guy we didn't take. Crazy, right? Unbelievable. We were watching that game, bro. Like, how do you not, like, obviously the scouts are watching, and then you just like, oh, how can we not take Zach Wilson? Because after what this guy just did to Trevor Lawrence, handing him his first L, it just blows my mind, bro. I hope each one of those guys that fucking vouched for him gets fired or is fired.
Zach Wilson's
Unbelievable,
good.
dude.
Zach Wilson will be good.
Maybe he has to do ayahuasca.
He's in my top 10.
All right, we can't get into this.
Yeah. Well, besides that, I have nothing else. Any other news? I got nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, I guess that's it. So tune in next week. Follow us again. Keep following us. Tag your friends. Look at us. Like, watch our YouTube videos. They're funny as hell. Keep monitoring our Instagram, our Twitter, TikTok, all the good stuff. We have a lot of good stuff coming out. This golf stuff is going to be hilarious. So keep watch.
Yep.
So with that being said, we're out of here.
Peace.
Good episode.